Astrology, in the first chapter by Parashar Rishi was so great, I keep on repeating this. He looked up at the sky, he was traveling on a boat, he looked up at the sky and he said, this is the time God has to reincarnate. Narayan, Vishnu will reincarnate this time. So I need to create a vessel for him. I need to create a base for him to take birth. This same Rishi is telling in the first chapter that the movement of grahas in BPHS is so subtle that even the great Vashishta Rishi and Brihaspati cannot fathom it. Passion is important. And then when you learn real Kung Fu, you got to know when not to use it ever. Same is with Jyotish predictions. Predictions any idiot can do in life. Any idiot. And it will just demonstrate that all the astrologers till date have not read Parashari. I'll give you that in 15 minutes. What am I pointing at? One additional point. Capricorn.
Yes, sir, Capricorn.
All of you will be able to predict the date of marriage also. See this shloka. Do you see what is written here? What is written here? What is written here? Masam. Versions of BPHS, just that word Masam has been removed. In certain versions of BPHS, that line has been removed. Okay. So how come not a single scholar or astrologer till date object to it? K.N. Rao also has mentioned, he's not mentioned the shloka, which I read in BPHS, which says 10th house. Are you getting it, everybody? Is in the 5th house. If you pray to God, God will listen. That is the first. Second, Chandra in the 5th house, you will get a beautiful wife. Third, Chandra in the 5th house, the wife will have temper. Fourth, Chandra in the 5th house, there will be an ugly mark between the left chest and the right chest of your wife. Okay. It's a basic course that we're going to do today. We're going to cover planet signs and houses. To assist me, we have Kaushik ji, we have Vinayak ji. I think he's online. Okay. Vinayak, are you there? And we have Ruchi ma'am, Suraj. Dhawan might be there. Okay. Anybody, will the first half an hour, we will see what mistakes we take on board, what is our attitude towards the subject, what rituals we should follow, what perspective we should follow. So it could take half an hour to 45 minutes. Most of you, I presume, know all about planets, their significations, houses, and signs. Am I right? If anybody does not know, let me know. Some of the faces I see are 15, 20 years in astrology. And some are probably from 80s. It does become tough for me to make everybody happy in the first half an hour. So I'll throw a challenge as time goes by in this lecture. Why do we require astrology? Is the first question. Obviously, when we are confused, depressed, going through bad times, we want some guidance. Like how we seek guidance from our father, mother, relatives, friends during our tough times. We require to be shown the light. That's the Jyot. Jyot means the light, Jyotishi. Okay, shows the light. In this process, we need to understand from the time it has been mentioned in the Vedas, from that time till now, there has been progress in the way the client deals with this subject, and at the same time, the Jyotishi of 1 lakh years back or 100,000 years back, and the Jyotishi of today. Our obsession has become predictions, predictions, predictions. And unfortunately, this is something I keep on repeating. If somebody has shown you or told you that this is a predictive science, he's made a big, big, big time fool of you. Predictions are just a byproduct. This is a karmic correction science of how you understand why you're born, what are you born with, what are your debts, and how to repay those debts, either smilingly or unsmilingly. If you understand only this much, you will realize astrology can make you really, really detached in life. The mark of a great astrologer is for him to get detached with the results. It has to be in alignment with what Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, that just do your karma, let the results be up to me. Unfortunately, today, all of us go to an astrologer not to find out what is my karmic debt. Go to an astrologer to find how we can increase our karmic debt by focusing on Maya related activities. Okay. So this is where the first mistake happens. So when your gurus themselves do not know what is the meaning of astrology, then you're off to a wrong start. It is a job of the guru to correct the mindset. Uska dharma hai, that is his dharma. Those who are from abroad, foreigners and South Indians, don't worry if I say something in Hindi. Okay, I will always repeat it in English. Okay. Astrology, in the first chapter by Parashar Rishi was so great. I keep on repeating this. He looked up at the sky. He was traveling on a boat. He looked up at the sky and he said, this is the time God has to reincarnate. Narayan, Vishnu will reincarnate this time. So I need to create a vessel for him. I need to create a base for him to take birth. So he says, who's there in the boat? One fisherwoman lady is there. And her father says, I want to marry. Marries, and he has copulation, what we call sex, whatever. And the great Rishi Ved Vyas is born, who is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Are you all understanding? If that man is so great, he can look at the sky and come to this conclusion. This planet is here, this planet is here, this planet is here. This is the time for Vishnu's avatar. This same Rishi is telling in the first chapter that the movement of grahas in BPHS is so subtle that even the great Vashishta Rishi and Brihaspati cannot fathom it. What is the meaning of it? The same rishis, 7 rishis in Saptarishi Nadi, sit in front of Parvati Ma, goddess Parvati, the wife of Lord Shiva, where she gives us a chart, and one rishi says this prediction, the person will marry, the other person says no, the person will not marry, the other rishi. Rishis are having diverse views. They don't insult each other. So if you're embarking on a journey, you must realize I'm starting the beginner's course. If the Rishi can make wrong prediction about marriage, who am I? See, till 2008, the biggest mistake that was happening in astrology, and I'm sorry to say, none of the great people, our elders, I don't want to name them, they never thought about it this way. If you're reading physics, you want to read Newton. Am I right?
Yes,
If
sir.
you're reading Jyotish, shouldn't you see how a Rishi is taking a horoscope? What is he seeing first? What is he seeing second? Are you getting it? How is he predicting? What is he predicting? What the other Rishis are predicting? But what we were doing till 2008, we were just walking the path that everybody is walking. We don't know how the Rishi is looking at a horoscope. We don't care. And we proceeded in this science and we became all experts. Are you getting it? Today we read of Pythagoras theorem, and so many other things. So we are reading what the ancients have written. We are seeing how they applied it. But in Jyotish, no. Till Saptarishi Nadi was translated by Mr. NBS and his team. Till then, we did not come to. Action is important, and yes, I would request whoever wants to predict at least 2 hours per day for the next 1 year, you have to give me. If you can do that, you will be somewhere else. You will be at, you can't imagine. There is one gentleman here called Yuvank. 20 days or 15 days back, okay, he started on something called Bhojana Prashna. What is the meaning of Bhojana Prashna, everybody? Prashna for food. What food you have, what food you're going to take. Okay. In olden days, the kings, see, today it's going to be 3-4 hours or whatever, 6 hours, all depends on me and everybody. Okay. So the kings used to test the astrology. Nobody can question the king. Although it is forbidden to test the astrology. Crystal clear, it's forbidden, it's written in shloka form in Prashna Marga book. Okay. It's crystal clear, written. So still a chapter is there on Bhojana Prashna. That means about food. How many people were present in the food? Who was serving? What was served? What was the discussion during dinner? Okay, it's a very detailed science. You find many shlokas in Krishniyam also, which is far older than Prashnama. So, this Bhojana Prashna was just used to test. The problem is, for example, I'll play an audio. I do not know if you all can hear it. Let me know if you all can hear it.
अच्छा एक और बात आपको बतानी है आपने
Yes,
जो
sir,
prediction
we can.
किया कि 2 hours में आप कुछ दूध का खाने वाले हो और हमने सच में मतलब मैंने तो नोटिस ही नहीं किया मैं तो सोने वाली थी सडनली गोपेश ने नोटिस किया कि यार नहीं नहीं करते हुए आखिर में सोते टाइम मैंने दही खा ही लिया जबकि उनका कोई मन भी नहीं था पर सडनली पता नहीं ऐसे क्या हुआ कि उन्होंने खाने के साथ वो खा लिया तो वो बता रहे थे कि यार उनकी बात सच हुई कि 2 घंटे में तुम कुछ दूध का बना खाओगे वो बहुत खुश हो रहे थे इस चीज को लेके कि पहली बार किसी ने मतलब उनके बारे में बताया क्योंकि जो भी जिनसे भी वो मिले हैं अभी तक किसी ने कुछ नहीं बताया अभी तक ऐसा
It is in Hindi. I do not know if you all could hear it properly. Did you all hear properly? Anybody can translate in English? Avik Pal, can you translate in English?
Yes, sir. Like she was saying, somebody had, I mean, the astrologer has predicted that she'll be having something in the next, coming time, coming hours. And she did not even realize that, though she was not wanting to have, or rather, she was kind of absent minded, but still, she ended up having that food.
What? Something of milk. That is important.
Okay.
Yogurt.
That is what is important. Something related to milk. And her husband was very happy with this prediction. Okay. He said nobody has made this kind of prediction. This prediction was done by Yuvank over here. Okay. Yuvank probably has spent 15-20 days only in this, but he's doing it with passion. Passion. This can restore help restore the confidence in astrology. Are you getting it? Same, my other student Dinesh Tambe has been doing it, focusing it on 3-4 years or something like that. So I call this, you have to sometimes wear good clothes when you're going for a function, for a marriage. Okay. But after some time, you have to be in your normal clothes. Well, the person who's going to spend the rest of the life with you, he needs to fall in love with the person without makeup after he gets out of the bed. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
So astrology is not Bhojan Prashna. If you do Bhojan Prashna, I just might teach this at the end of this 1-year course. I might teach it. You'll make stunning predictions. But I'll be actually teaching you how to fight. And then, like a martial artist, I'm going to be telling you never ever fight. That's the whole thing about Kung Fu. A real Kung Fu teacher will teach you Kung Fu. Passion is important. And then when you learn real Kung Fu, you got to know when not to use it ever. Same is with Jyotish predictions. Predictions any idiot can do in life. Any idiot. Most corrupt person can do, in fact, far better predictions than an average guy here. Because his malefics are at an advanced stage. He knows how to be crooked, kamina, etc. and all that. So he knows how to navigate the grahas. The day blessings to you comes is when what you started in astrology and you became a more Saumya person, softer person, and a far better human being. And somebody who speaks only when spoken to. You got to speak only when spoken to. That means the grahas have blessed you. Are you all getting it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
The grahas have blessed you. If you keep on talking throughout the day, gossip column, what food you made, what happened, look at her makeup in that function, okay, how much gold she was wearing, blah, 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 blah. So gone. This science is not for you. You want to create your YouTube channel, do dance bar astrology, don't come to me. Don't come to me. You want to go in the jungle and find one shloka. Today I'll give you one shloka that will shock you all. Shock you all. And it will just demonstrate that all the astrologers till date have not read Parashari. I'll give you that in 15 minutes. What I'm trying to say is I'm trying to prepare you. You want to join this course, join. You don't want to join, I don't care. But it is your Siddhant Naithani seems to be very busy somewhere. ये कोई बच्चों का खेल नहीं है बेटा. Either you respect your teacher or you're busy. I know sometimes we can get busy. Okay. We are all living in family houses. We don't have separate bungalows only for Jyotish. And I wish everybody had separate bungalows and separate libraries for Jyotish. Shaw, Dahlia Shaw and others, we all are very, very late. We should be starting Jyotish at the age of 8.
Absolutely.
My question is, you know what my worry is? All of you will be able to predict the date of marriage also. But getting into the books of rishis, that is tough. Very tough. Very tough. Even now, I feel I wasted my life by not being productive, by not having good time management, by not having good focus. Although I got the greatest of all gurus, the late C.S. Patel sir, who was a scholar beyond, I mean, they say a scholar like him has not been born. So my guru was really somebody you could really say that you give him a shloka and he'll come out with some pearl. So you want to learn Jyotish? Promise me 1 hour a day. But in that 1 hour, what I tell you to read, how I tell you to study, you got to do it. See, for example, some people, anybody here who already are doing that Nauman's mental calculation that Ruchi Ben and Suraj are, raise your hands. Others can lower your hands for a second, please. Anybody who's learned that Nauman's calculation. Rajat, Bhargav, Dr. Vina, Tushar. So, chalo. Tushar bhai, can you come on camera, please?
Yes, sir.
How many years you been doing Jyotish?
So more than 2 years, 3 years.
Okay. And we had Sanjeev Agarwal, who's been doing it from 1991 or 81. Maybe he's not here today. He's from abroad. Okay. Ishita Gupta, how many years you been doing?
Sir, actually, I have started in 2018, but left in between. Now I'm restarting.
Trick. We all go to Thailand and come back, but we have to come back. Okay. My point is, there is a system of learning the science. And I've said, like my guru, Paresh Desai's father, Ravindra Desai, first he was made to by heart 4 books. Then the Shastra, then the teacher started teaching. Same with B.V. Raman Saab, by hearting. And he stopped. One day he missed, and his father cane nikal ke usko bahut mara. And using a cane beat him quite a lot. What is impossible? Can you imagine a beginner in Jyotish doing mentally calculating Nauman's before even he has started the beginner's course? And by next week, it will be Dashamsha. Is that possible, Tushar?
Yes, sir.
This is my system of learning. I'll give you a small example. My master would say something. He'll say it's in that book. We'll keep on searching. I'll spend hours, days searching for it. What was the process? I read that book. Are you getting it? For example, I'll give you such shlokas. For example, yesterday I said to Ruchi Ben, search for this Sanskrit word. She must have searched in 2-3 books. Am I right, Ruchi Ben?
Sir, 4.
4. Chalo, good. How many hours she must have spent, I do not know. I knew the answer. But that's it. Why? Haji, boliye.
I sat and read all the shlokas. I was reading the entire chapter out to figure out which shloka is it mentioned in. So it took me a lot of time because I read BPHS. I saw all the chapters, tried to read all the shlokas. Then I realized it's not there. Then I went to the other books. So it took me a long time to figure out which all books have that word in it.
Are you getting it, everybody? So what happens is, if you want to learn Jyotish now, watch 2 movies. Drunken Master or Drunken Monk by Jackie Chan, and 2010 he came up with the movie Karate Kid, where he for the first time becomes a guru. Watch it. That is the system of our rishis. First do Gada Majuri. I'll give you one shloka. Okay, and you'll be, we'll start. Kaushik ji will, in the next 20 minutes, he'll start with planets, houses, and all that. Most of you know that. Okay, I'll just give you one shloka. Give me a second. How many of you, any of you do not know which are the watery signs? Raise your hands. Which are the watery signs? Raise your hands. Don't worry, मेरे को भी नहीं मालूम है. Chetan Bhai is saying he does not know. Who else have raised hands? Why can't I see them? Rohit Singh, Krupa Sindhu Mohanty, Abhik, Dr. Veena Sharma. Dr. Veena Sharma, you do not know what are watery signs. Deep Mala. 4, 8, 12.
No, I know, sir. I thought you asked me that who knows. Sorry, sir.
Then either to everybody
I
knows.
don't.
All
I don't.
are descendants of Parashar Rishi. Don't worry about it. We all are descendants of Parashar Rishi. That is the reason we love this sign so much. See, we all have the ansh of the Saptarishis. Let's face that. Correct? So if somebody says, I'm 70-year-old, I can't do this science, don't worry. Ho jayega. You are just preparing yourself, Madam Shaw, for the next life. Simple. Do you think so? All of you are doing astrology for the first time in this lifetime only? No. Most of you have been astrologers. It is just we need to chip off your old baggage. So when you are coming and studying with me, you have to leave your biased mind outside. You have to burn your horoscope outside. So all of us know Karka, Scorpio, and Pisces are watery signs. Correct? Everybody?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
if I show
Yes.
you thing, let me share the screen. Can you see this screen? This is probably 1600, 1500 years old shloka by the son of Varamira. Okay. Do you see this translation? This is by R. Santanam. And even the great Gopesh Kumar Oja mentions this in his commentary of Faladipika, Bhavarth Bodhini Tika. And you see here, what am I pointing at? One additional point, Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Yes, sir. Capricorn.
Yes, sir.
Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Capricorn.
Yes, sir.
And nobody till date has pointed to this shloka. He's son of Varamira. Varamira was, the legendary guy. This date, this time, the king's son is going to die. How is going to die? Through a boar. That is the reason he got the name Varaha. Varamira. This way, there will be many shlokas Here, so I'm giving you something. Okay. Now I'll show you something. And we're going to have a small break after that. Can you read this? Please understand, I do not advocate on a personal level non-vegetarianism. But at the same time, I do understand it is how your upbringing or taste buds have been aligned in this lifetime. Do you see this shloka? Do you see what is written here? What is written here? What is written here? Masam. Are you getting it, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
And this is another version, same shloka. राहु के लिए मासम भात. In certain versions of BPHS, just that word masam has been removed. In certain versions of BPHS, that line has been removed. Okay. So I referred 6-7 versions. So how my master would say, find in BPHS the word masam. 10 days, you're reading, hurrying. Then you realize, no, he doesn't want me to hurry. He wants me to read, understand, grasp. Please understand, I'm not here to hurt anybody's sentiments, your personal choices. That shloka could be a spurious shloka, interpolation, although it is found in many versions, okay, of BPHS. The question, what I said to you at the start is, how come not a single scholar or astrologer till date object to it? Am I making sense? Arey haan ya na to bolo yaar.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Do you find this shloka shocking? Is it shocking?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All your YouTube astrologers,
Yes.
how come they missed it? Oh, let's come back to this shloka. You got a point, Shivani. I agree with you. My point is, what I want to do to you all is, in BPHS, in Parashari, 8th house is death, somewhere 7th house, 2nd house Maraka, 7th house Maraka, 12th house or death, 8th house death, 6th house Akala Mrityu, untimely death. Done? But there is a shloka which K.N. Rao also has mentioned. He's not mentioned the shloka, which I read in BPHS, which says 10th house. Are you getting it, everybody? I am
Yes, sir.
saying, what am I trying to say? A Shastra has to be read, learned the way you're supposed to learn.
Correct.
That is my whole focus. My style of teaching is that. For example, in the Jyotish Pandit course, and even in the beginner's course, Master Predictive series, what I said, download by 5 to 10 classical books. Only read the chapter on houses. Prepare it in an Excel sheet or Word file systematically. Why systematically? You'll improve your Mercury and you'll become a great predictor. If somebody sends an email to me just with the attachment, I just delete it. I don't even bother to see that homework. When that somebody is going to write a letter to Narendra Modi or Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, na? So respected Donald Trump will come. So I get to know when I see people who have no respect for their teacher or guru, please don't bother. you have to take reverence of the Rishi. Rishi is ahead, not you. Are you all getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'll give you one shloka. Okay, write this down, everybody. It's a very beautiful shloka. If you decode it, it will be this thing. I'll tell you later. Okay, let's assume, okay, this is Sunil John Rishi saying if Chandra is in the 5th house, if you pray to God, God will listen. That is the first. Second, Chandra in the 5th house, you will get a beautiful wife. Third, Chandra in the 5th house, the wife will have temper. Fourth, Chandra in the 5th house, there will be an ugly mark between the left chest and the right chest of your wife. Correct? Now, if I say this, what will you say? What an idiot. Correct? Why? 1/12 of the population of the world will have Chandra in the 5th house. Am I right or wrong? Averagely speaking. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I do not know what is the population, whether it will be 1 billion. Let's assume for the sake of saying 500 million people will have that. Okay? 500 million people will have that. So you'll say Sunil John is an idiot. Sunil John has become egoistical, etc. and all that. Okay. If you use statistical astrology, if you use your brains, which is not equipped to understand the Rishi, you are in the wrong profession. Because these kind of shlokas you'll find hundreds of places. In BPHS, Parashar Rishi will give, say for example, another thing. Chandra in the 2nd house, okay, at the age of 18, you will be made commander-in-chief of the army by the king. Okay? If I said, you'll say an idiot is speaking. You'll say, how at the age of 18 it is possible? Correct?
No, sir.
If I tell you the man who kicked Vishnu on his chest, who had the guts to do that, wrote that shloka, or supposedly wrote that shloka, let's assume it is not corrupted, then you will think seriously. But you'll say, how? It's not going to happen. Everybody cannot become 18 at the age of 18 army chief, correct? Okay, maybe you all should see that shloka.
Yes.
Okay. Now, see this. In his 18th year, he will get the appointment as his commander-in-chief by the king. Okay? This. Where is the other one? Okay, I'll show that shloka, Chandra in 5th. I'm not put it here. It'll be somewhere downloaded. 1 second. Where is that Chandra in 5th? I have. Okay, after the break, I'll show you that. Okay, after the break, I'll show that shloka. Okay, but that is that shloka. The whole point is, let's take that shloka. You just saw the shloka Chandra in the 2nd house. Okay, let's take one more shloka. Okay, you know this shloka. Okay, anybody in astrology, some of you are doing the beginners might be getting bored, but I'm just preparing your mind for a journey. Please understand. Because if you start off on the wrong foot, your astrological journey is in ruins. The only thing you'll end up doing is what time electricity has gone and what time electricity will come back. You're not in the business of predictions. Please understand, you're in the business of understanding your Rishi. अपने पूर्वज को समझने का काम है आपको. आपका बाप, पिताजी, उनके पिताजी, millions of years back. You have to understand. You are in that business. So you're in two business. Either prediction or falling in love with the Rishi. Very simple. Let others do prediction. There are many people who will dance for the tune of money. You spend this life in learning. Prediction happens like how Yuang did. By the way, that was an actress he predicted. I'm told, whatever. Okay. I don't want to ask her name and get into a legal problem here. Okay. So, let others do that. You first concentrate on understanding the Rishi. You can't marry a girl thinking that in future, will she be lucky for me? That means you're not in love with that girl. Your fundamentals of love is weak. You'll never understand love. I get people asking me this question. Sir, I'm having relationship with this person for 3 years. Will she be lucky to me after marriage? Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Without seeing chart, I say after 3 months now she's going to have an affair with your best friend. They get shocked. They go into depression. I'm saying I'm very happy. जब तुमको प्यार क्या है पता नहीं यार, तुमको काहे के लिए शादी कर रही है? You don't know what is love यार. Are you getting it, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The
Yes,
fundamental is, I want to understand the Rishi. I want to love him. I want to hug him. I want to sit on his lap. That's your fundament. Our fundamentals of God are all screwed up. We pray to God only thinking that He's going to help us and get us out of a problem. We don't pray to God that God, please, Ganpati Bappa, आ जाओ मेरे lap पे बैठो, मुझे पप्पी दो, मैं भी तुमको पप्पी देगा. Sit on my lap. I'm going to kiss you. You're going to kiss me. I'm going to hug you, my dear child. Are you getting, everybody? Our fundamentals are all screwed up. So if you come to learn with me, please understand, I'll keep on poking you to go back to your roots. The first time you played football, bat ball, whatever, okay, you played it not to become Sachin Tendulkar or to earn a contract for advertising contract. You played because you loved that thrill of making a sixer, of scoring a goal. Fundamentals. Am I right? Go back. All of us have that child within us. Okay? Anybody who's done astrology knows Shukra in the 12th house is considered a very auspicious place. Some give logic. Okay? In the 12th house, the sign is Pisces. Done? So it gets exalted in Pisces. Correct? Now we
Yes.
know Bhrigu Rishi. Okay? We know Bhrigu Rishi. Here writes, the native will face extreme poverty, whereas all the other classics are giving something else. Are you all getting it?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Of course, here Bhrigu Rishi says, apart from the sexual indulgence, etc. and all that, okay, that is not important. He says if it is with a benefit, the native will be very wealthy. If this Shukra is with a benefit or has an aspect of a benefit, it will be very wealthy. He will be very. But if it is with a malefic, he will go to hell. Okay. Now, when you are learning, this is the way you got to learn. You got to compare it with other this thing, other this thing, other this thing. Now, if I'm the idiot, I'm born out of YouTube astrology, Facebook astrology, WhatsApp astrology. My father is YouTube, my mother is WhatsApp, okay, and my guru is Facebook. Then I'll say 1/12 of the population will be rich. Correct? Are you getting everybody?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is the mistake. But if I tell you that Bhrigu Rishi has written, you'll keep quiet.
Sir.
You'll keep quiet. Are you getting it? So I am saying when to speak, what to speak, all these are so important. You can't imagine, because your thinking in this journey will become either the biggest obstacle for you or it can take you to great heights. Are you understanding, everybody? Am I able to communicate what I want?
Yes,
to
sir.
communicate?
Yes.
Understandable, sir. Wonderful.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So do not use statistical astrology, statistics into this. The biggest mistake, I have shown this in my lectures in Delhi, how statistical astrology is your worst enemy. Worst enemy. It can destroy your Jyotish. It can destroy your Jyotish. Okay, I'll show you. I do not
So
know if
what exactly do you mean by the statistical astrology? I'm just taking an overview.
we will. Who's asked that question?
I
Who's-
asked, sir. Kunal.
Always raise your hands, okay? And then I will unmute you. All right, everybody. Suppose you are testing COVID vaccine. Can anybody tell me, Kunal, you or anybody, can you tell me COVID vaccine was any vaccine you take out of? What are the percentage of success ratio? Approximate guess.
5-10%.
Some say it was advertised as 60%. But the newspaper reports kept on changing on that. Okay. Let's assume it is 60%. Okay. Now let's draw a whiteboard. One second. Let's assume this is your line, 0 to 100. Okay. Can you all see this?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
60% ratio COVID vaccine. Kunal is sitting over there. I'm sitting over here. First, let's assume 70%. So he tests it on 70 humans. He finds it working. He's thrilled. The first 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, etc. he tests. Are you getting it, everybody? So he finds it working. He says, brilliant result. Okay? Done, everybody? Let's assume Sunil John is testing. He publishes this in the magazine. He gets awards, etc. I'm sitting here in one village. Okay. The first 30 I test, I get negative result. Before it reaches 30, you know what happens? By the time you reach 5, any technique, actually there are 2 layers to this, I'm not going to explain it. Any technique, you will test it on 5 charts. If it works on your chart, the technique is valid. If it doesn't work on your chart, the technique is useless. So what makes you an astrologer is the first 5 charts in your kismat, in your luck. Are you understanding? When you increase the database of 100 to 10,000, the first 30,000 charts is a failure. Suppose your bad luck is on. All right. The first 30,000 charts is a failure. Done. Do you think so? Any astrology student worth his salt is going to go beyond 30,001 and start testing the charts to get that 70% success ratio? किसी में इतना दम नहीं है. Nobody has the guts and the time. So when you see a technique posted by a Rishi or on Facebook and people replying in the negative, then you know somebody who has not tested much has replied. And if you are believing his reply, whether he's saying yes or no, if you are believing his reply, then you are an idiot, you're fooling yourself. Are you understanding how our path to astrology is wrong? Anybody who's testing a shloka, how come Bhrigu Rishi is writing Chandra in the second house, 18th year? He doesn't have brains. Only we have brains. Are you getting it? Okay, I posted a video. See this. Okay, I posted a video on Gemini and seeing a spirit. Okay, it's obviously common sense. Okay, anybody who's a Gemini Lagna, everybody who's a Gemini Lagna, he's not going to see a spirit. Why would I create a video like this? So some person here, whatever his name is, he says there are roughly 50 crore people having Gemini ascendant in the world. If we assume 2-3 ghosts per house, there may be around 150 crore ghosts in the world minimum. बाप रे बाप, बहुत बुरी हालत है दुनिया की. When you learn astrology without a guru, you will get this kind of thinking. Why Parashar Rishi or Bhrigu Rishi, okay, says, okay, some dasha will give this in the 97th chapter. When you are using only that dasha, you're using that shloka as an isolation. Parashar Rishi does not remind you every time to read and apply the first 96 chapters. He doesn't need to tell you. It is understood that you are seeing whether the graha is in a mrit avastha or vrid avastha. That means vrid is old. Mrit is death. He doesn't have the power to give the result. And you're using it in isolation, a technique. You're not using the first 96 chapters of what Parashar Rishi taught. Are you all getting what is the mistake happening? Am I able to convey it to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, very
Suppose
much.
that Chandra in the second house, the other 8 grahas have not gone to Thailand, Phuket Islands, no? They are not on a beach enjoying, no?
Yes, sir.
The other grahas have to support the yoga that Bhrigu Rishi wrote. Chandra in the second house, 18th year. Are you getting everybody?
Yes, sir. Yes.
If the support is not there of the other 8 grahas, if other Raj Yogas are not being formed, then what is the use? Are you getting it? So Parashar Rishi wrote in Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra, chapter 11, shloka number 6, 5th house means intelligence. So the person who wrote 50 crores in that spirit thing, he forgot this shloka. Parashar Rishi said, use your intelligence, common sense. Common sense. Any yoga that the Rishi has written is a base for each lagna. The grahas will come and support that base or not support that base. This is common sense. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
If you are living in Africa, where the base is too many mosquitoes, so the propensity for you to be bitten by a mosquito is there. Correct? It doesn't mean everybody who's born in Africa is going to die of dengue. Are you all getting it? The propensity for every lagna has been given in classics like Bhavarth Ratnakar, which is considered the book of exceptions. the late Dr. B.V. Raman wrote in the start that many of these shlokas are, some say, are anti-Parashari. But for a professional astrologer, I have found this working in practice, that small book of exceptions. Are you getting it? So
Yes,
we do not follow common sense. Because that video is from one portion of my course, Blank Chart Prediction course. They have not read or seen the 280 hours of that course. Am I right, Kaushik ji? Next is your lecture. I hope you are there.
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
So you're part of that course. You know how many hours we have gone. The common sense. Your pillars, the yoga for every ascendant is your cement base, the pillar of your building. So you need to know. You need to know certain basics. If Parashar Rishi can write so many such shlokas, all the rishis have given shlokas without ascendants. Chandra in the first house, this result, second house, this result, third house, this result. It doesn't work 100%. But why are they writing it? They didn't have the intelligence that it's not going to work. Are you getting it, everybody? And why am I saying go back to classics? For example, it is said, if malefic aspect the lagna, the health of the person or the longevity of the person will be reduced. Correct? This is what we have heard everywhere. Correct, everybody? Benefics in Kendras are good. Correct? But if you carefully read Parashar Rishi, for example, this shloka, okay? If you read carefully Parashar Rishi, here in the evils chapter, in the initial part of Parashar Rishi, the chapter on evils, okay? Here a very beautiful thing which everybody ignores. A malefic aspect on the ascendant of one born here during daytime but in the dark half. Krishna Paksha. All evils are destroyed. Bhanga. Bhanga. Like Jupiter in Lagna. Parashar Rishi says it is akin to Jupiter in Lagna destroys all evils. It is akin to bowing, uses the word, it is akin to bowing to one sincere bow to Lord Shiva. These are the words of Parashar, just before this shloka.